Okay, alrighty.
You're live.
Right, oh, hang on. I better put the camera on me, would be nice, wouldn't it?
Hello.
Hello. Oh, we haven't got any hot buttons, have we? Ah! What's happened?
What's happened?
Oh, no, hang on a
Oh,
second.
it's frozen.
There we are,
Ah,
starting
there
again.
it
There
is,
you
frozen,
go.
yeah.
Alright, Arnie, play us in to start the show. A little bit of Welsh music this week. Oh, keep yourself on the camera, on. Hang on. I'll move this a bit. Oh, wrong way. Fire away, on. Hey, good work, Arnie B. There we go. It's a bit of Sion to get us started. As you saw in Empire of the Sun, well, I think it was Christian Bale, wasn't it, in that film? An old Welsh song, anyway, very, very old. Hang on, I need another book. The camera's a little bit low. Right, we're trying different camera setup, different everything. Of course, everything's gone wrong all afternoon. Can everybody hear me? I hope you can. Wiley would have been a bit weird. Oh, yeah, lots of compliments there. There you go.
Thank you.
See you again, bendigedig. Diolch yn fawr, expat. God, loads of people online already. Excellent. So we got, right, to say hello to a few people. We've got so much on tonight's show, and I have to whiz on. So we've got Janet McCarthy, who have been waiting patiently. Thank you, Janet. Andrew Whelan, yes. Wish every day was like a Sunday. Oh, hang on. The camera's frozen again. Great. Oh, we have had so many technical problems this afternoon. You have no idea. Well, you probably have got some idea if you watched this programme before. But hopefully everything's out of the way before we start. That's the idea. David Mosley, Noswith there. Good evening all. Henno, Porb. Evening Hugh, Craig Thomas, Jordan Jones. I'm trying to remember who expat is. I do know your name. Type your name in there and I can say it then. Meg. Taliesin, there's lovely. Thank you. Tidy on it. Tidy violin player. Juliet. Hello, Juliet. Thank you, Juliet. Wow, loads of comments. Yep, Seal Garn, well spotted, everyone. Right, where's my book? Oh, can you pass? It's under your violin now. Careful with the violin, of course. Do another song later, perhaps. Right, I've got so much, I can hardly remember it all tonight. But the big one, as you've seen in the headlines, is... Oh, I'm not quite ready. I would have been ready ages ago. Uh-oh, where's my bag? I just took... Oh, here it is. Oh, excuse me. We were massively ahead of schedule. And then I rushed out to do an interview with someone, which is absolutely brilliant, and you're going to love it. You're going to love it. I haven't had a chance to edit it or anything, so we're straight out with the camera. So I might have to jump in and out a bit rather than show the whole thing. But the main subject's been a little bit Welsh-centric lately, and it's not an all Welsh thing. It is Britain's hidden history. Which includes, you got something about Scotland today, and something about England, and something about Wales. Oh, get my breath back. Bit like one of those jokes, you know, Welshman, Scotsman, and Englishman. Now, I'll give you a couple of clues about what that's about. Hang on, let's get rid of this so I can see the comments. Jordan, Welsh songs are sung in Hungary. The village of Cuntagora is twinned to Montgomery. Wow, Welesi Bardock, Welsh Bards of Edward era. Right, okay. Right. Michelle, that's right. Thank you, Michelle. Thank you. Yes, Michelle Evans. And very important, I'm glad Michelle was on there, because I'm hoping we're going to try either live, depends how brave Michelle is, or record something during the week via the computer, because she's in North America. And if you know, there's a lot of interest in there, I'm going to get this wrong, Oh no, I didn't write it down. Guinevere. I think it's something like I get confused with Guinevere as the wife of Arthur. But what we were talking about was there's a Welsh dialect spoken in the southeast Wales. I put a video up during the week. You get a lot of interest. A lot of we got dislikes, are we on? You're gonna get after him.
One dislike.
A dislike already. Well, that's a bit harsh, isn't it? We haven't started yet. Anyway, what we're looking at. Sorry, first of all, welcome to everyone. Take a breath, Ross. Slow down. I know most of the names I recognise, and it's great to see you all again. Wonderful. Thank you very much. Also, new people, you're very welcome. Just quickly to say what we're doing with Britain's Hidden History is we're going beyond the normal history we get told in schools and books and universities, and we're going back to the parts of history which used to be taught. There's lots of evidence for them, physical, written evidence, but for some various reasons they are no longer on the syllabus and they kind of get shoved out, okay? So if you haven't been here before, don't worry, you can dive straight in. It's very friendly and you're very welcome. And to all those people who support, particularly the Patreon supporters, which makes all the difference to us in the world, okay? Now, just to go back on what we're talking about with Michelle, one of the things which came up, and this was in the mainstream newspapers, I don't know, like 6-7 months ago, got a lot of coverage. Dixie sent me something from the South Wales Argos, which I shared back then, and the Western Mail, or Wales Online, as it seems to be more branded as these days, did a big piece saying how this South East Wales dialect was almost extinct. There's only a couple of speakers left. Well, I dispute that for a start. I think there's a lot more than they realise. And this is being borne out by the people getting in touch with me. Like, I know old people in this area who speak a variation. Now, on our Facebook group, which is also called Britain's Hidden History, if you want to come and join that and have a look in, various people contacted back about that subject, saying how they speak the language and know about it. Like, great, let's get some recordings. Let's do something about that. But even better than that, Michelle is actually launching a new channel, which I'll be very happy to promote and do what I can to help get it going, which is on March the 1st, St. David's Day, Dydd Dewi Sant. I'm going to Dewi again, what that's all about. And that's going to be promoting, looking at these different Welsh dialects. Because Michelle explained to me, I hope I get this right, that she comes from sort of southwest Wales, Carmarthenshire area originally, but the version of Welsh that she speaks involves some of the southeast Wales dialect and some of her local dialect. So it's very, very important because so much of our history is wrapped up in the language, not just Wales, place names in England and Scotland, all tie back to the older Welsh version, and what's been taught in schools and promoted on TV and radio, I'm afraid is quite a bit different. It's sort of a bit of a dumbed down version, if you like. But anyway, look at that video. It's only 15 minutes, and it's called Fighting to Save the Real Welsh, I think it's something like that. And then hopefully an interview with Michelle, either on this show next week or separately, as a separate interview. Alright, other things, a little bit about Scottish settling in America. It's courtesy of John Primolo. I'm going to have, don't let me forget, Alexandros, my new friend. Alexandros lives in America. His surname is Faros. I'm not sure his ancestry is, but he's a big fan, enthusiast of... God, I'm looking like I've got the biggest nose in the world. Hang on, let's put this camera back a bit.
Do.
I do have, thank you. I do have the biggest nose in the world, he says. Well, Salman Rushdie says it's a nose you can start, found a dynasty with. You can found a dynasty with, or start a ski school, depending on where you come from. Right, I keep distracting myself. Alexandros, fine voice. He did a bit of an interview with me online. He's going to start a podcast soon. And he's asking lots of really cool questions about origins of Welsh language, Cymroglyphics. Got a quick plug for my own book. It's just about done now and should go to the printers end of the week. So that's all good news, and I'm very excited because there's lots more on that one. Yes, Michelle can't wait to collaborate. Me too. It's going to be great fun. And anything I can do to help that one. And very much the theme of tonight is people doing things. Do I say this every week? But the whole point of this, I see myself very much as a reporting and inspiring, all right? It's people out there watching this, doing things. So I used to get lots of emails saying things like, oh, I've just read about blah, blah, blah. Why don't you look into it? My stock reply would be, well, why don't you look into it without being rude, you know? And more people are doing just that. So more channels. No one's competing. Nothing like that. There's plenty of room for all of us, okay? When you consider now, I started doing, a video every day just about. Apart from Saturdays, all right? Got one day off. Just 15-minute videos, reading out different things. And last week the theme has been very much an 1880s book talking about Old South Wales and things that have changed. A lot of it wasn't really about Wales, more how things have changed since then to now. And that's gone down very well. So even if I do one every day, and this week there'll be a couple of longer videos as well, and the Sunday video, so maybe 4 hours content. That's quite a lot. But everyone watches a lot more than that. So if there was another 10, 20 channels doing exactly the same thing, there'd still be plenty of viewers for everybody, all right? Right, so this big thing, first of all, is about Cambridge. This is the superb book. This is not the person I'm interviewing, by the way. This is Iman Wilkins, Where Troy Once Stood, which is an absolutely staggering book. And this person spent a lifetime exploring Homer's Iliad and looking at it, explaining and discovering why basically it can't be where it's supposed to be in the Mediterranean or the Aegean, okay? There's lots of reasons. One, I haven't read this book yet, but I got the gist of it already. You have situations whereby you've got there's tides. There's no tides in the Mediterranean. There's fields of corn, which you don't get in Greece. There's all sorts, or Anatolia. There's all sorts of stuff. It just says that's not where Troy was. And he's done a lot of research, and he's placed Troy in Cambridgeshire, okay? So, thank you for kind comments on the boards. Thank you very much. So we're talking about that. Now, Marshall is part of our group as we search this, and because one of the things that struck her, hang on.
What?
I have to excuse the scribbles on the front. I do this because I write all over my books, and I don't want to send this out to a customer who's paid for a new one. So excuse a bit that says Ross Working Copy. How do we... She's a big Wilson and Blackett fan, has also done a lot of research into this book, and a lot of research into this book. So how can we have a situation whereby we got this Trojan War taking place in Anatolia, and the characters, we can trace them into Egypt and the Greek colonies. And we got this Trojan War in Britain, which wouldn't correlate with that at all. Curious, isn't it? Well, that's what Michelle's been cracking. And it's very, very clever. And it all ties in with the British migrations. So this you're going to love. Hello, Monica. Good to see Monica on there. Welsh Boy Wales is a good name. So many books, so little time. Yeah, right, okay. Right, so what I was going to do first... Oh, there's so much to do. I'm not sure where to even start. I tell you what I want to do is... One thing, while we're on the languages, just do a quick one. I've had... if you saw that, when we're looking at the different Welsh dialects and stuff, one of the things I did was tie this back to the hieroglyphs, and you could see how in the old 1803 dictionary, I kept calling it 1805, it says in there that the letter Y came into Welsh as a sort of mutation or development on the letter E, which is a bit weird on itself. So I've also got some correspondence on that from Tudor Williams. But the other thing we've got tonight as well, make sure I don't forget this, is when it comes to people doing their own thing and getting on with it, we got Michelle setting up a channel, Alexandros is setting up a podcast, we've got Marshall is writing this fantastic book, and we've also got Tudor Williams who sent me his research and knowledge about the letter Y and E, which is quite surprising when you think about it. I got John Brimelow sent me stuff about Scottish settling in America before Columbus. And the other thing I really want to encourage, and I might start with, is, hang on, the video by, where's the video gone from? Hang on a second. Hang on. Legolas has done a video. It's on the trailer. I got to show it. Excuse me. Hang on 1 second. Let's do that one first. Oh no, it's not on that one. Honey B.
Yeah.
Oh, it's the USB it's on, isn't it? Sorry. No, which is the right card? Memory. Alright, let's come back to that in a second. I don't want to hold everything up while we look for that one. You know, I saved the video onto this one. Which is this one?
I have
No, where's the green one? That's I want the green one.
green ship? It's in here. I haven't had the green ship.
Oh, it is plugged in there. Alright,
Oh.
okay. We had to change everything from this computer to the other computer and then back again. And we got two different drives, both called E-drive. That's really confusing. So bear with me 1 second. Sorry about this. What do we call it? Lego. Alright, sorry, yeah, Rob's done a fantastic thing where he's been up to the mountains of Kyra, where you can see it's called castles, and he's actually found the castles, alright? And I also need my singing from Alexandros. I've got to find... Alright, that's right, let's take this off and plug it back in again quickly. Now, whichever one flashes up the big error message is the one with all the stuff on it. Okay. Right, where should we dive in first, folks? I've got myself a bit confused now.
Oh, you're frozen. Again.
What's going on?
My camera's kind of a bit, I don't know.
Right, okay. Have you got the graphics I just saved from... Right, what I'm doing, I'll go straight in and talk a little bit more about this. Does anyone know about this idea of Troy actually being in Cambridgeshire?
No.
No. Well, I didn't know about this till quite recently, but there's been quite a lot written about it. That part of it's not a new idea. Yay! What I don't have is my pictures are done for it. Okay, alright, so I'm going to try and be brave here now, okay? Let's see if I can find this. Right. I'm going to go straight on to... We can do this live, okay? Bit of live research here. Stratford, I believe. Near Stratford, Cambridgeshire. And I'll do a screen share with you in a second. Yep. Okay. Right. Okay. This is gonna be brave now. This is proper live TV. Okay. We're sharing. All right. We're sharing. Yay! Let's go on Google Maps. Here we go. Right. I'm gonna move the camera a bit, otherwise I can't see the screen. This is brave. Right. What we're gonna do now? We're gonna look for. Can people see this again? You see me on the map, all right?
We can see
Why am I getting this stupid thing here? Right, I need to go to... I'll tell you what we'll do. There's, you remember Priam? Priam's Way? Do you remember Priam? This might surprise you. Why is it in Cambridgeshire we've got a place called Priam's Way, okay? Which goes there. And then we've got a place called Wandlebury. And what I need to do with you is find the places around here are all tied in with the Trojan War, okay? Now, what I do have... Can you find out where the downloads are gone? What Marshall has done is look into this and has actually discovered I need the different map for this one.
What downloads?
Okay, alright, don't worry. We got the circles, and what you'll find in here... And I'll tell you what, I'll put the interview on, and while the interview's playing, I will then dig out the... What I will do...
Brutus came in the 1100s. Well, no, he didn't.
I will download again and put them onto a different memory card. What?
You will dig out a nice crate of beer.
Yeah, I'll get a crate of beer. I'll drink that while you watch the interview. Have you got a memory card or something for that one, Arnie?
Memory card plugged into this, no.
Alright, well, we'll sort that out. We'll just watch a little bit of Marcel talking about this. What I want to show you is what Marcel's done as well, is taken the research... Sorry, that's not very nice with the pause, Marcel. Hang on. That's better. Is there to tie this in with the Brutus migrations. And what we're doing on here is I want to show you on the map, which I'll try and show before the end of the programme, is Marcel's actually worked out where Troy would have been in Cambridgeshire and marked it out where the, it's known as Many-Towered Troy. So that's been marked out on the map. I've joined them up with walls. And all the place names around there. You got Priam's Way, the Procession, the Wandlebury Rings. You can see the massive earthworks which would tie in with the battle that took place. So I went to see Marcel, and here's some of the interview now. I might not show all of it because it'll all go up as a separate video as well.
Fought in the 1100s. Well, no, it wasn't. It was fought in 650, thereabouts BC.
So let's go back to the beginning.
Right. Brutus came in the 1100s. Well, no, he didn't. Trojan War was fought in the 1100s. Well, no, it wasn't. It was fought in 650, thereabouts BC. London was founded in the 1100s. Well, was it? Why is this notion of the 1100s so important to people? Right. And I postulate, not terribly well, I don't think, but, I'm doing my best, that something did happen in the 1100s which was so cataclysmically important that the date has been seared on the British consciousness, if you like, and the reason for it has been forgotten. Now, I think that was the first Trojan War, which this chap talks about. Right. The first Trojan War.
Right, this is the key here. We sort of dived in. Can you save on to there? Dived in straight in with the punchline, if you like. What Marcel has worked out is that there are two Trojan Wars that have been conflated into one large one. Very much in the way you have Arthur the First and Arthur the Second, portrayed as one Arthur who's supposed to live for 250 years. There's two Trojan Wars. One here, one in Anatolia.
To my way of mind, can we see that?
Yeah, I can see that.
He has proved pretty much conclusively that, along with a whole lot of other people, going all the way back to Thucydides, that the Iliad does not have the Mediterranean as its topography. Is that the right word? As it's
not set there.
It's not set there. No, exactly. It's not set in the Mediterranean. He talks about fields of corn, which Greece certainly doesn't have. He talks about willow trees, snow, tides, dark, rough seas, none of which happens in the Mediterranean. Okay, they have snow in the hills, but it's not the same thing.
The tides are the big clue, isn't it? Yeah.
The tides, and this chap has devoted his entire life to proving that the Iliad was set here, or rather on the other side of, in Loigo, in fact, near Cambridge. Fine. How on earth, I thought, does that fit in with this equally seminal and important work with the pencil sticking out, which, if he's conclusively, to my mind, proved that the Iliad was set in England.
Right, yes.
How on earth do we justify that with this? And it suddenly came to me, we can justify it perfectly well if there were two Trojan Wars and they've been grafted together.
Yes. Yeah.
And they've probably been grafted together for all sorts of reasons. Many of them might have been political. I mean, I really don't know. That's something for the real linguistics to go pick the Iliad apart and find out. It has been done. Right. So the story, I've always thought this, the story of Paris, Menelaus and Alexander does not sit well on this basis at all. It looks, it just doesn't have a ring to it. Whereas for this, it's an absolute reason. It's a God-sent reason. It's the only reason why this war could have happened. But this war was set at the Thessalic Troy, and this one was not.
Yeah, because this was in Cambridgeshire.
This one is in Cambridgeshire, and this is where Wandlebury Ring and Gog Hills come into it, and this is the work I've been doing for that. I still haven't finished teasing these two wars apart. My conjecture is Albin came here. Well, that's not a conjecture. We know that happened. I've got as far as, and I can't prove this in any shape or form, but I've got as far as conjecturing that the Abraham migration and the Sumerian migration to Britain were connected, very closely connected. There is etymological, I'm going to have to use the word evidence because I don't know what else to call it. etymological evidence for Abraham's presence in this country. I mean, for example, at the foot of the Gog-Magog hills, there is a village called Babraham. And as I've said in this book, if that isn't ap Abraham, son of, heir to, after Abraham, I'll eat my first royalty check, or my next royalty check. So there's that.
Right.
But she came here in roughly 1567. This happened almost 1,000 years later. When did this happen? And why did it happen? And this is where we get a bit more conjectural, because was there a collapse of the Bronze Age? We don't know that. The evidence, as far as I can see, is pretty jolly flimsy, except that there aren't any ruins above ground in Mesopotamia, just like no Roman ruins above ground in this country. Was there a comet? Why? I mean, but was there another invasion from Sumer to the Wash, and did they then displace Albine, whose descendants had been at Troy? I'm conjecturing again. I mean, people need to go and dig this place up. I mean, all I can do is put out a theory and hope that somebody will either go and prove me wrong, or I really hope prove me right.
Yeah, there should be some interest.
Did they come here 400 years after Albine and push her out of Troy after a 10-year siege? And that was why London has the founding date of the 1100s, because they will have left this Troy and moved away from the invaders who will have settled this part of East Anglia.
Yes.
And gone to find London. And
all right, so here's the first part to give you an idea. I don't think, hang on. Yeah. Oh my goodness. Well, a little bit more and I will talk as well, perhaps. But I hope everyone's enjoying. I can't see the comments. Can you show me the comments on?
When he came, and his name is not mentioned. That Brutus, Lacrinus and Gwendolen are said by Geoffrey of Monmouth and all sorts of other people to be the first three two kings and a queen on the throne of Britain. Well, Brutus, Lacrinus and certainly Gwendolen, not one of those three is mentioned in the period of oral tradition and chronologies, and nor are those three mentioned in the genealogy of Iestyn Gorgon. And I hope for any Welsh listeners I pronounce haven't mangled that too badly.
That's pretty good to me.
So another conflation. So Brutus comes here. Do you want me to talk about this?
Yeah, fine.
Well,
yes.
It strikes me over and over again. People talk.
1 second, sorry, Marshall. We haven't got the hotkey set up. That's the trouble. There you go. Wasn't much of a delay. There you go. Thank you for noticing,
We've
Arnie.
heard it all along. Alban, Actus, Lacrinus, and Camber. Right. Well, if my theory about Brutus is true, not only, and this is fact, this bit of it is fact, not only is he King Lear's lineal descendant and therefore has a right to the throne of Britain, but at the time that he came here...
So Lear's predating Brutus?
Yes.
Brutus descended of...
Brutus is descended from King Lear through his daughter Regan.
Yep. Sorry to distract you with the camera.
Damn, where was I? Oh, I've sworn on camera, help. And it's Sunday. Yes, so he comes here, and the time he gets here, there is a civil war going on in this country. And who are the three kings fighting among themselves? The three kings of Alban, Scotland, Cymru, Wales, and Lloegr, England.
Right, yes.
So my guess is that these three places are not actually sons of Brutus at all. They are the three parts of the British Isles over which he becomes High King, i.e. father.
Well, there's no three sons as such.
There are no three sons as such, because although he does have in the... Is it the POTC? He does have a son named Cymru. Which, I mean, it's the same name as Camber, obviously.
Yeah, or Cymru.
Yes.
The country is weird.
So he might well have had a son named after one of his kingdoms, existing kingdoms.
Oh, I see.
Because he came here, sorted out a civil war, and became High King. Because of his descent from Lear, he became High King over the three parts of the British Isles. That's my theory.
Right, so the names of the countries would have come before.
Yes, and people got it mixed up and thought that he had
well,
3
these
sons.
things get mixed up all the time,
Yes.
don't they? Yes.
So it's another form of, I don't think we can call this, that. Well, it's a sort of conflation.
And a mixing up.
Yes. By the time Brutus got here, people will have forgotten.
Oh, we have a question.
Right.
When does the full-length interview go up?
Right, I'll put the full interview up. This week it's all filmed. There's sorry about that terrible bit of camera work at the end there. I was trying to reposition the camera and I made a right mess of it, so I do apologise. And I also got the microphone one side, the camera the other, so I keep looking 2 different directions at once, which is a bit distracting for everyone, including me. There we are, that's better. God, my camera work today is all over the place, so I think I'm getting the hang of it. So, now I'm going to put the full thing up this week. I was going to run it all today, but for a live show like this, you need time to think about it and put it together. The important things are, as I'll show on the maps as well, is you've got this area by the Wash in there, sort of north in Cambridgeshire. The Wash would have been a lot bigger in those days. Can I see the comments as well? Bring that around a bit. Oh,
No, you just moved it.
oh, sorry, I messed it up. The Wash would have been a lot bigger in those days. And come much further down, and you'll find where Troy is matches up with the Iliad's description. So, of course, the problem we have then is what happens in the 650 BC one, and I'm just really paraphrasing what Marcel already really put so well. To try and summarise, the situation we have is the initial migration, 1600 BC, the Albine migration that we know about, and Marcel's also done a lot of work on that and who it actually was. And I saw one of the comments there about this tying in with the same era as Hugh Guran and that, the Hugh the Elder in the Welsh. I'm going to call it history now. People call it legends and mythology. It's as good as history as anyone else's. That fits in the same time frame. Curiously, it also fits in with the same time frame as Abraham. And so we go in that kind of biblical era when you start shifting everything around. And there seems to be a big connection between all these things. And again, it's another one of these ones with like an old jumper, you pull one little bit and another bit comes apart, another bit comes apart. And soon you're taking the whole of history apart, which seems to be what's happening. And I'm not sure it was in the interview or just when I was chatting later with Marcel, is that one of the great things that when Nennius, for example, he it is in the interview, but I'm going to say it now anyway, is that he deplores, and this is written 800 AD, 830, something like that, and he deplores the sorry state of the British and Britain that they don't know their history. He was writing that 1200 years ago, so this is not a new thing, this Britain's hidden history and what Allen and Barham did, what the revivalists did in the 1800s, all these people, right? It's a cry that's been going on. Because when you think about it, what's wrong?
Got a question.
Okay, yeah.
Does the fact that there are place names in an area really prove that a person or city was there?
Right, well, place names... Right, I'll come on to place names in a second. Now, let's make a note of that. It's an excellent question. Does place names prove that someone was there? Okay. Yeah, we do come on to that in the interview, funny enough. And I'll put the format up later in the week. What I want to talk about is that when we look at... if, for example, these original migrations were, say, 1600 BC, and a lot of the early historians are writing, 800 AD... that's over 2,000 years before them. They're as far away as we are from them. It's like when I'm doing the hieroglyphs and people say, the Romans said blah, blah, blah. Well, the Romans turned up as far after the invention of hieroglyphs as we are from the Romans. Our minds doesn't really capture lengths of time. When we hear something was 2,000 or 3,000 BC, it's more or less the same thing. That's a massive, massive scale of time. Right, the place names thing. This is by no means the place names the backbone of, or the proof of what Marcel's been going through. Look at all different layers of proof. Place names, though, are really important, okay? Place names tend to be one of the most permanent features. And it's one of the things you can see... I had a discussion during the week with someone. You've got the Old British, which is the language Lloegr, right? The Old English Lloegr, place names. where the language is much more like Welsh, and you can still see those place names, even though they've been Saxon dominated or Anglo dominated since, say, 600-700 AD. So 1400 years, they've still got the old British names. Names tend to be incredibly durable. They're not really subject to the whims of language changing and fashions change, things like that. So place names are very important. Now, what's significant in this situation is there are places called Troy all over the world. And Marcel's saying even places like Trieste are related to Troy. There's, I don't know, I was thinking about 8 or 9, I think, in the southeast of England. So there's one up on the heads of the valleys here in Wales. So this idea of Troy, why are they using the name Troy? And then Marcel's the expert on etymology and the roots of words. And look at the root of the word Troy and what it means and why this name gets taken with them. Similarly, why are there so many places called London? And I think if you go into E.O. Gordon, he says it's Llundain, which would be the, I don't know, the lake or the pure lake or something like that. Which Marshall has a different theory, but place names are absolutely really important. But in this situation, we got far more evidence than that. And I'm itching to get into this huge book by Iman, which has just vanished. I'm having one of those days with
book?
The big one where Troy once stood. I just held it up a second ago. Oh yeah, right here. Underneath the Trojan War by Wilson and Blackett. In this book, I mean, he's got, how big is this book? 600 pages probably. Oh, only 300, sorry, thick paper. 300 pages of evidence for why he thinks Troy was where it is. This was like a lifetime's work for this person. And it's not just place names. You've got the, well, at the moment, just one of the things I wanted to show, if I can get this blasted map up, and I'll try and get up tomorrow. I'll do this one first, because it really is important, is you can still see the mounds forming an outline of where the Troy was supposed to have been. They would have been where the towers are. And the next thing, you got Priam's Way and all the places in the layout. And I really got to show you this. It's important. Can I have the... Let's just try that memory card again. I got to try... Well, everything's gone wrong today. I don't understand it because it was on that. It was all on that memory stick. I had the whole thing ready to go. It's been one of them afternoons. I tried to do too much today. That was the problem. Let's a quick look. In that folder there. Nope, never mind. Alright, sorry about that. I do apologise. I did have everything ready then. This computer went wrong. We transferred all to the notebook. And then this one worked again. We transferred it all back and never quite made it back. But we do want to look at that. And I've got the pictures. I've done a mock-up. Actually, that'll be good one to look forward to. We'll do that later in the week. We've got some more questions on this because it's brilliant. Abraham was said to have been born 1813 BC. Does that match? Well, in a way it does because... Right, to get the timeline here, you got the era of Moses, or Abraham, sorry, roughly 1800, whatever that says, round about then. And this is the right kind of time frame for the migration into Britain. This is where I would jump in with some of my own theories, if you like, that the migration started, people started moving here as early as 1900 BC, and this would tie in then with the work of Alexander Thom, the stone circles up in the top of Scotland, and looking at where they're aligned to with the stars and that, it would seem to put them in that sort of time frame. Because one of the big discussion points then is why. Why did they come here and why was there no one here already? On one of these weeks, I really am going to do a chance to show some of my theories about history of the world and how Britain was frozen and unfrozen and why they had to move, whether they wanted to or not. But also, you have to remember that Britain is the place where you've got all the raw materials. So, it's the if you were fighting wars and it was difficult times, tin being a crucial point. Britain called the Tin Islands. You want to come back to Britain for those reasons. Then, of course, copper, lead, coal, gold, iron. It's all there in vast abundance. It really is all the good stuff, Arne. Thank you. Yes, it really is the treasure island that you want to get back to. Okay. So, the question more interesting for me is why was it unpopulated? Why was there no one there already? So, the sort of timeline that we're putting together then, that Marcel's putting together, is then round about the... So yeah, you've got that. So then 1600 BC, that's when you have the larger migrations with Albine. And then you come into what the beginning of recorded history. Part of this, as Marshall said, is what's called the period of oral tradition. And I must look huge on this screen. Let's make myself a bit smaller. Oh, that's better.
You are huge.
Thanks, Arn. Yes, sorry, it's all a bit more serious than thought tonight. Anyway, so then you got that. And what Marshall was saying then is that she has followed through the history of all the kings. A lot of these names you'll know, like Lear and all these, who come down in the history that used to be taught in schools in the old days, until you get to the situation where this war is fought. So this war is fought then about 1100, and that's when we have the first Trojan War, and that's the one in Britain, in Cambridgeshire. All right, and the repercussions of that, founding of Rome, moving around, all the other things you'll see in the book. 500 years later, these kingdoms in Britain are fighting a war with each other, some sort of civil war. They're at each other's throats, and this is when Brutus has his chance to return and become the new king, because he's descended from these people, and it all connects, and it's all marvellous. And I only know a tiny part of it. Oh, Marcell's, you're online live tonight. Hello, Marcell. Here we are. Wonderful. Doesn't normally come on a Sunday evening. Okay. All right. Well, we'll put the rest of the interview up, and then we can have another chat. We have a follow-up chat as well. But the reason I want to make such a big deal about this is this really is at the heart of everything we're doing with the Britain's Hidden History project. Okay. If the whole, in many ways, the most important part of it is this idea that the British people, I mean, all the different ways, English, Scots, Irish, different types of migrations, migrated from the Near East, are the coolest as well, yes. Well, they are the coolest in a way, because the concept is that you're talking about the covenant with God and the chosen people. So this is where we get into that kind of areas, okay? Right, here we go. So you've got people here talking about Orkney settlements being settled since 6000 BC from Patricia. Yeah, I want to get back to that. I'm not saying there was never people in Britain. I'm saying there weren't people here around about 2000 BC. There were people, those people had to leave, and then people could return. Alright, that's where I'm coming from on that. So, both said eons ago, it's like Egyptian history is upside down and back to front, says John. You're absolutely right, yeah, because we know the chronology is all wrong with Egyptian history. What Wilson and Blackett have done, which makes all of this suddenly possible, is with books like Trojan War 650 BC, because the reason why this title is chosen for the book and why it's so significant is the mainstream historians, or the accepted dates for Trojan War, are 1100 BC or earlier, 1400, 1500. Some of the dates in the past have been crazy how far back they go. And the problem is that there's 500 years unaccounted for, and it causes all sorts of problems through history. It's what they call a dark ages in history, where nothing grew, nothing was made, nothing happened. People were buried, and then the Hittites vanished, and lots of things disappeared from history, and the sea people have to be invented, and then miraculously everyone wakes up again 500 years later, and there we are. Life continues as normal, and the gap like it never happened, and you've got Neo-Hittites where Hittites used to be, and all this kind of thing. Take away the 500-year gap, it all works. So, of course, the problem comes then, why is 1100 such a big date? Why is we talk about 1100 BC as being crucial in British history and the Trojan War? And yet, as Wilson and Blackett very ably demonstrates, that's 650 BC. Well, why Marcell's been incredibly clever here is to work out both are true. They were two wars that have been conflated into one big one, which means all sorts of problems then, trying to entangle which characters are from which war and where they both were. I'm not sure I answered the question about the place names. I hope I did. But there is other evidence as well. You've got the written records, the names, and all the dates start to slot together. So that's really the point of a lot of what we're doing here. Right, what else we got on here? Second, there's loads of questions, which is really good to see. There's gold in them hills, yeah. Yeah, Patricia says, must be people here. See, I don't know how they date things back to 6000 BC. The other problem is, where I come into this a lot, one of the issues I bring to the party, if you like, is the difficulty with dating anything by physical means. And I keep into this video on it. Radiocarbon dating is not at all accurate. That could be a couple of 1,000 years out either way.
What?
Yep. Everyone thinks radiocarbon dating's the gold standard, and it's most definitely not, okay? Sedimentary dating's also got problems, as is dendrochronology. There is no proper physical way of doing it. I know people get upset when you say this, and they say, what are we going to do then? I said, well, I don't know, you can't make it up. If it doesn't work, it doesn't work. We can't, or let's just pretend it works up, yeah? So that's the situation is. Do people want to see a little bit more of that? Or I could put that video up later in the week. I think we'll do that, I think. Right, now, because I was out most of the day, and all these problems with the computers, I don't have all the graphics ready. So for some of this, I'm going to have to do it. Looking at me. I'll look at Arnie, perhaps. He's hiding. No?
Pardon?
Hey? Well, I'd rather look at you than me, Arnie, that's all. Perhaps I just play another song on a violin, okay? Now, one of the interesting things here, we can jump back to that again. I've got to find we've got to put the Robert video up. It's essential. I edited it and everything. Oh, no, it's fantastic. No, I'm going to be gutted, and so's Rob. Have you got the memory stick? Let's give it back to you.
Oh,
then.
yeah, right here.
You got the green one as well. That's already plugged in.
The chip, no, I do not.
All right. I'm going to have one last look at this. And I do you've no idea how frustrated I am. It's been a long, long day. Come on, Arthur.
I got this to work.
It's going to suddenly turn up. It's going to turn up.
Look, I got this to work.
You got what to work on? Oh, yeah.
Headset over hat.
All right, thank you. I'm not like we're busy here. We've got people watching and waiting. It's okay. No, that's just bizarre where that's gone. I don't understand it. Right, could you slot that in there? All right, sorry, Robert, Lego Leaf. You did a great job with that video.
Lego Leaf.
Yeah, Lego Leaf. Legolas Green Leaf. I really wanted to show it. Right, okay, quick discussion about... well, you got the wrong carbon dating, upside down, back to front. You're right, Jordan, yes, all over the place. Most agree, yeah? Well, I don't know if most agree what that means, Patricia. What does most agree mean? See, some people say the Ark of Noah settled in Anatolia around 2,500 BC. And then someone says 2,150 BC. I mean, what are these dates based on? This is the difficulty, isn't it? Oh, can you find a place to slide the card in there? It's around there somewhere, but it's dark and I can't see. Go on, eyes like a ferret. Right there is somewhere.
Found it. Well, no.
Yeah. Must be on there.
Occasion.
Alright, must be on there. Right, anyway, so we'll talk about the letter. There's Zavi, what are you doing there, Zav? God, dear. Oh, it's not easy, this, is it? Did everyone get... Oh, no one got to see that? Only us two got to see that one. Alright, okay. Alright, thank goodness for that.
We're laughing at the invisible joke.
Yeah. Right. So you got one of the pictures, not the others. It's weird, isn't it? Don't understand it. So one of those days where the computer completely froze about half an hour, which didn't help. Okay, right, let's go back to the letter E and Y, okay? Now, one of the things that came up when we're studying our old look at the languages is the fact that the old dictionary there, the 1803 one, says that the letter Y derived from the letter E. Now, the letter Y is interesting. I know it sounds a bit bizarre, but Welsh is a phonetic language, okay? So when you say something, when you see something written, you can always read it the same way, apart from the letter Y. So, for example, mynydd is usually said mynydd, so the first Y is an and the second Y is an E. Near me, we have a place called Ynysabwl. So all three Y's are said in different ways. So how does that work, okay? So, first of all, Tudor, who's been in touch a few times, he's helped me on a few things. And what I will say there, you're right in drawing attention to the demise of Gwent Glamorgan Welsh, a treasure which is in danger of disappearing. Yeah, if you didn't see the video yet, it was not only a dialect of Welsh, this was Welsh. More people spoke this than any other form of Welsh in the country. So, the stick in the mud academics will be left behind. Yeah, it's amazing. I was having arguments before I got kicked off one of the Facebook groups, trying to mention this language, and there were language experts on there just telling me I must be mad. I was making it up. This language didn't exist. It was the weirdest conversation. I would say things like, type messages, that I've got old women in the local church, my local chapel, who speak this form of Welsh. And they tell me that they have to change the type of Welsh they speak when their grandchildren come home from school because they're so different. And it's almost like they speak two languages and their grandchildren don't speak the same Welsh that they do. And I was told, no, most learn Welsh at the hearth and it's the same Welsh it's always been. It was the weirdest conversation. I should name and shame those people, really. Because then 2 months later, of course, it's all over the newspapers saying how this dialect needed to be saved. Anyway, right, so he's told me here, your explanation at the sound, which is how a Y is pronounced, can revert to in Old Welsh, an important key. We also get in touch with Dr. Evans from Cardiff University, okay? Right, so I don't know if there's other things in the letter, very pleasant. Also saying the demise of Brains Brewery and no more Welsh beer from Brains, which is terrible. Anyway, Y is the only vowel which can sound different depending on its location. Otherwise, they are phonetic and do not change and straightforward. So if you take the sentence, the house on the mountain, T ar mynydd in Welsh. So you got the first is a Y. Be nice if I had this on screen. The next is T, T-Y, so it's an E. And then we got ara, which is mud, alright? So they're all different. Mynydd, the second one is an I sound. So what I want people to ask, I'm asking for help from people out there, people like Michelle, who's really good on these languages, and there's other people we're helping, is that what exactly, where does this Y come into it? Because Y is a really strange one as well, isn't it? Because it's sort of, in English, you can't decide whether it's a consonant or a vowel. So that's really weird as well, okay? Oh, hang on a second, we got some more dates coming up there. Kew Gadarn, Stonehenge, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, dating any of those things, I think you find is almost impossible. Right, so anyway, so Y is very irregular insofar it has 3 sounds. E, I. And then there's other examples where it does other strange things. What he calls examples of irregularity. Thank you, Tudor. Better at putting these things than I am. So if you have the word HWY, which means them, or PWY, which means Hugh. This is why I get slaughtered for my Welsh pronunciation, but it's hoy and poi. So you say who did it? Poi, you know? Who's at the door? Poi. Who's calling, you know? Poi. And goich, splendid, all pronounced with, oh, hang on, he's got double E. No, it's not double E, it can't be P. So many words with the Y at the end. And then we got Mynd, Gwyn, Llyn, which are all, it's interesting actually, because I noticed Tudor says some of these words slightly different to me. Like they say Llyn for lake, and I would say Llyn around here. The other thing I point out there about the Gwent accent, which we're going to cover more of, sounds in elf, which is a strong whereas in Gwent, you have father, which is normally, I would say, tad. My dad is my tad, okay, tad. Whereas in Welsh, in Gwent, they would say Ted. And then he's giving me a good example of misunderstandings, alright? So, there's 2 yachtsmen sailing in the North Sea when an almighty storm blew up and the boat started to take in water. "Start bailing while I get to the radio," said he to his mate. "Mayday, mayday, we are sinking," went out the call. The German Coast Guard picks up the signal and answers, "What are you sinking about?" Apparently that's a true misunderstanding. And there's another one then, I don't think anyone likes my jokes, do they? My stand-up career was brutally short. One gig. Well, 3 nights. I did 3 nights. Anyway, I'd get a guy, got up on stage and did it, alright? As rubbish as it was. And I wrote all my own script. Right, anyway. This one is funny anyway, because here we have a very affable yachtsman from the home counties calls in for a drink at the yacht club in West Wales. Being a friendly guy, he starts chatting to a few of the locals around the bar. "Can I buy you chaps a drink?" he asks. "Oh, thanks very much, very kind of you," they replied. "By the way, how do you say chars?" Which is a posh accent for cheers in Welsh. Because chahars, they've answered Cadairiau, Cadairiau, which is chairs, you see, the things you sit on. So Cadairiau, they replied. Holding up his glass, he toasted, "Cadairiau, everybody." Gotta keep smiling. So thank you for that. And how am I going to do this now? Because I'm now on the wrong computer, but I absolutely have to have the caption contest before I forget. one of the videos I did this week. Oh my, sorry, put my hand over my mouth. It's not to help anybody. Oh, Arnie's appearing. Thanks, Arnie. Have we got the cover hard drive back? That one. Everything must be on there, I think.
Yeah.
And let's just hope to goodness.
I haven't used the hard drive.
I'm hard, but not you, right?
Hard drive.
Let's hope nothing crashes here. Now, thank you to all those people who already entered into the caption contest. And if you don't know about it, I have to move this a little bit to the side, sorry, because I can't see what I'm doing otherwise. Right, what we have is a situation where... Oh, please, something work tonight. Oh, man. Everything was so far in advance and it was so slick last week. Do I just go back to my little notebook computer, I guess? I don't know. You can't do quite so much with the videos then. What are we doing for time? Oh, it's 9 o'clock. All right. Anyway, I just want to say that... please save me. Something work tonight. No, that doesn't want to work either now. Let's take down it. That's how to help it find it. This is hard drive. It's there, look. Come on. An idiot, I pulled the wrong thing out.
New word.
At least the microphone's still working.
Idiot. No, it's not. Now it is.
Now the microphone's still working. Oh, thank goodness for that.
No, it stopped working. It's working again now.
Alright, okay, give me a break here. Hang on. It is going to work. Oh, it's a shambles this week, isn't it?
Adding tension by poking.
Yeah, thanks, Al. You add the tension by poking me. Yeah, that really aren't... Never work with children or IT, I tell you, man. Right, I'm going to have one last go at this. Because we have had... Arnie, tell you what, bring the... Can you open another channel on your computer there to show the... So we can have a look at all the entries to the caption contest, because we have had 50, 60 entries already, and they're absolutely hilarious. And the question... Please let me show something tonight. Ah! Yay, this is going to work, And I'm going to bring up the caption contest again. Because what we have is going back to the... What's called caption competition. There we go, there's the clue, look.
Prize caption contest.
Yeah, tell you what, actually, I'll do that on here. That's the easiest. I just found an easy way of doing this. I'm going to go to YouTube. I'm going to log in. And show a bit of last week's video. That's weird, isn't it? We're going to have last week's video on video.
Funny.
Right. Okay. Yay. Right, okay. Right. Please, everyone, give me a break here. Right, okay, so there's me talking about me, and there's me, which is looking very weird. But hopefully you can see that big cartoon on the middle there, okay? Oh, go away, what's everything? Right, so what we have here, you can see the sea just about. We've got Queen Cleopatra, and she's giving, berating these two scribes at the bottom of the steps there. And what's happening is, she's looked at her cartouche, which is on the wall. You can see it by her right ear or right elbow, which spells Cleopatra. Now, if you know anything about chiroglyphics, Wilson and Blackett worked out how you read hieroglyphs, and it's based on the Welsh language, which makes it a lot easier. The cool thing is, well, not cool, the tragedy for 200 years is that mainstream archaeologists or Egyptologists try to read each hieroglyph as a sound, like a letter, if you like, or a sound, a part of a word, and they get nowhere. It turns out, actually, that each hieroglyph is a word. Once you know each one's a word, it's fairly easy. You just know what the words are and you read them, all right? What happens in a hieroglyph, a name like this, is that the initials spell out the name, all right? So Ross is an easy one for me. I have one hieroglyph starting with a Ra and one starting with a S, and it's that symbol you see all over the books and everything. But Ra means to proclaim, roch, and it's a picture of a mouth, roch. And the other one is a fastening bolt joined together, which means certain, it's not going to break. So I speak with certainty. Not tonight. I'm trying my best, all right? So that's what a lovely picture I've frozen myself on there. Is that what you're laughing at? Anyway, okay.
I was reading all the comments.
So what it means is for some of the comments are hilarious, aren't they? So I'm going to do. Can you bring the Facebook up as well, please? Put my Facebook up. Yeah, we had loads of entries on there as well. If you can find Britain's Hidden History on the Facebook, right? So the idea is, this I can point to it. It says a Cleopatra, right? But they've used a duh, so it actually says Cleopatra. Because that hand, the threat to strike someone. Can you just make sure I'm on screen on here a second?
This one.
Oh, hang on.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can see me, right?
Oh, no, you haven't.
Are you sure I haven't frozen? No.
No, you haven't frozen. You're still
Okay, I was just looking to the side. Alright, so what they do is this combination, the hand and the mouth, means to threaten and tell people what to do, alright? So that's to rule. It's really powerful. So a duh and a ta, as Marshall would say with the linguistics, a duh and a ta is more or less the same sound, alright? So it makes much more sense to put a duh, which means I'm threatening and proclaiming and I'm a ruler, the duh-ruh combination, which you see in Alexandros and all these other people, than to put a ta. So it's a long-winded way of saying her name is spelt wrong. It says Cleopatra, not Cleopatra, alright? I've explained all that because there's a caption competition and you get to win a great prize as well. So the idea is, on my pathetic attempt at this, which is probably available on here somewhere. Can we see my pathetic attempt?
Yeah, yours isn't actually funny.
Mine isn't funny, says Arnie. Thanks, Arnie.
I don't even know what it is.
Oh yeah, there's my rubbish attempt. Oh, hang on. Well, what it says, what do you mean you spelt my name wrong? And it says, we are just telling the world how wonderful you are, divine. Alright? Which is true. Explains it, but it's a bit crap, right? There's Cleopatra's cartouche. If you want to watch the video again, it's all on there. So it's Cleo and then Cleopatra it is really, because there's no A here. Anyway, that's besides the point.
Where is it? Where is the
What?
caption contest? Caption contest.
Yeah, if you go to the Britain's Hidden History, you go to Britain's Hidden History, and then just go through the recent threads, and you'll see that the link to the YouTube video.
I don't know if Facebook will.
Yeah, you'll see a link to the YouTube video. Ah, he doesn't use Facebook. Good. Right, okay, anyway, so let's show you some of the... Oh, hang on a second, though. A lot of the comments will come afterwards, won't they? Hang on, let's go right to the end. Can we go see the comments? Oh, here we go. Here's some of them here from Expat. Oh, that's Michelle, then, isn't it? Your writing skills we get out of hand, scribes to Cleopatra. Well, that's because it's all Greek to us. And I have to say, I like that one a lot. That's one of my favourites at the moment. Because the point is that Cleopatra, she's not Egyptian at all. She is, well, she's Egyptian, she's born there and associated with Egypt, but you have to remember that the family, the Ptolemaic family, are Greeks, so this is why they have to fiddle some of the names to get the spelling right. The reason it's important for Britain's Hidden History is if you can show the British language, currently spoken in Wales, no longer spoken in England, goes all the way back to ancient Egypt, then the people must do, because how else did the language get here otherwise, alright? So it is all relative. Another one from Michelle. What's triggered her this time? Second tribe to the first tribe. She must be on a pyramid. Hang on, let's get some good ones here. We got a handy too for noticing we're on a tea break. Thank you, Patricia. Well, there's a pair of twits, aren't you? Where's one? Like one was there, one of the early ones. Gosh, there's loads. Go and have a look at the video and have a look at them. One, I think it must be on the Facebook group. Was brilliant. I think it was Jaden. And it said, which one? So she says, which one of you scribes did this? And he said, something like, it wasn't me, it was my girlfriend Dracy. She spelled her name with a T, with a D as well. Anyway, made me laugh, alright? And there's loads of them. So go and have a look at that. If you're not, I will do a video in the week, but I want to say this is still open. For more entries, please. You can put them on the comments in today's video. I prefer it if you wait till the video loads up and then put them on. It's easier for me to check them all, then go through all the chat. But if you put some in the chat now, can you have a look on? Oh,
I still can't find it.
You can't find it? Hang on. You just go to Britain's Hidden History. What's your problem? Go to Britain's Hidden History.
Oh, I thought it was all those.
Muppet.
Right.
There's Britain History, right? Okay. In fairness, he doesn't use Facebook at all. Terrible thing for, well, everyone, children. Oh yeah, I want to give a special welcome to Jonathan Hawke this week as well. Hope he's watching the video. He's a bona fide archaeologist who joined the group. with lots of ideas. He specialises in Roman frontier stuff. So we do slightly disagree on quite a lot of things, but that's good. That's what we need. Get people in. He's coming in with an open mind, prepared to give it a go. If you're not in the Facebook group, highly recommend. There's tons of interesting stuff this week. There's so much interesting stuff. I have to scroll down and down and down to find the... Oh, I got to... Sorry, Rob, I really want to show you your video. Ah, here we go, see on? So you look at all the comments there, look. Don't cartouche me in, says Stephen Pigeon. It's denial for you. What do you mean never heard of a tea, says Jeff. When you try Cymraeg, we can understand you. Some of the ones we've seen already. Here's the ones. Very Monty Python, yes. Shakira mode. Anyway, there's loads and loads and loads. And we had great fun reading all those, okay? And then, yeah, Benny. No, it's not okay. It's in Welsh. One of them says, no, it's all Greek to me. So it's good stuff. There's loads. Anyway, there's still a chance to win. First prize, you get a copy of the new Cymroglyphic second edition, which will be out in a couple of weeks. Just being sort of proofed and stuff. And anywhere in the world, I'll post it. Don't worry about the postal costs on that. Right, now I'm really hoping, please, I want to put Alec, and have one last look for Alec, for what happened to Rob's blasted video. I can't understand it. I really can't understand what happened tonight. Very strange. Very, very strange, because, yeah, I'll put the whole video up in the week. Please watch it. I'll give it a little summary. What's happened and why it's an important video. Is that going to go back to me? Yep. Is that he lives in a place called Caira. And Caira means fortresses. Okay, so Caira is usually one and Caira more than one. So you've seen Caira this and Caira that. And it's the first time Rob and I got to meet each other when he called me out of the blue, as you can do. Send me a message, send me some information. I've got as many visits as we can do, given the COVID restrictions and all that kind of stuff, okay? So, yeah, whatever you want to do regards distancing, or just tell me where it is and I'll go on my own, or whatever, okay? I got to visit these places. And so Rob took me up there, went up there with Tim, I think, and we all climbed up this hill behind Caira. What had happened was, where he lived was called fortresses, but no one could see the forts, alright? They couldn't see the hill forts, the rings, the ditches, all that kind of stuff. And then, I think it was some disease came along. I think it was maybe Dutch elm or ash dieback, one of those. They had to clear the hill of all the trees. And then suddenly, wow, ditches appeared, ramparts.
I remember that.
Yeah, you went up there. You went up as well. Remember we went up to the top, yeah. We had like an aerial on the top of the hill and everything.
They cut down all the trees.
Yeah, they cut down all the trees, right? So you could see the proper fortress. So this was brilliant. Me and Rob cracked on, gone like a house on fire. And we've done loads of walks together and filming and all that. And now he's doing his own films, which is why I wanted to promote it. So please look out for that, because what has now happened is it's a valley being guarded by this hill fort. Well, now, for other reasons, the other side has been cut right back. And on Rob's video, you can actually see the tree stumps where it's been cut. And sure enough, as Rob predicted, same way as you've got a fort this side, you must have a fort that side. They can see each other and defend the valley. So it's up near Maesteg in Wales, and it's called Caira, okay? Or Caira, I call it Caira, I'm wrong, it's Caira. Which is the same name as the fort, the Rhysison. The one where I did the video, Arthur's Last Battles. Again, fortresses, alright? So there's probably more than one fort up there, because it's called Caira rather than just Cair, one battle. So anyway, none of the memory sticks are working. So it's just about time up anyway, but I'm having such a good time. Come on, it must be earning on. Look, come on.
I have no idea.
I don't understand how it could happen.
What?
What? Yes, it's suddenly come through. Hooray, 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 hooray. Alright. Ah, yeah, right, okay, hello, there's Lego. I've just shown, I'm so pleased about this. Right, how am I going to do this so I can start this up in there, because I haven't got the hotkeys. Oh my goodness. Right, screen share, you're going to see me for horrible things on my screen for a second. Here we go.
Hello.
By the way, I've got to
You
interrupt.
can barely hear Legolas.
Can you hardly hear him? Can you?
No.
Okay, all right. I'm going to thank you for letting me know. That's what I wanted to do. A little quick sound. It does get better, I think, the sound. But there's a thing on here for desktop audio. Aha! You see the problems I have? Look, that just vanished then. Where's the mixer? Audio mixer. All right, desktop audio. No, I can't go any higher than that. Sorry, folks. Okay, I've got a million things open. I can't make any louder in here. Sorry. It does get a little bit better, and also one of the reasons I do want to show the whole video tonight, some of it is difficult to hear because of the wind, and Rob was filming with a phone. So what we're going to do is have an interview, screen interview. I'm going to start doing screen-to-screen interviews. Got Michelle lined up, Hugh Evans lined up, Rob lined up, and a couple of other people lined up, okay? But also what I'm going to try and do is, there's a hair in your nose, there's a cause on my screen, do a bit of a voiceover on this video, because he also looks like he's on Everest to me. The cold, man, the sky, and he's up on the top of the mountain, and he's climbed up. So, are we back on screen share? Yeah, we are.
It's pretty windy up here today. I'm trying to catch my breath. I just walked all the way up. But what we're looking at today is the scale of the fortress of Cairo near Maesteg. And this place looks above the village of Cairo. Maesteg, it looks up Mount Baden, which is the famous battle site down near the Severn. But we have this fortress then, which is at the top end of the valley, and is connected directly to the Avon Valley, which stretches right down to Port Talbot. I'm just going to show you some of the promontory forts, and also a strange feature, an opposite hill that may reveal more, because it seems to be linear features that are not really on any map, but they are on the LiDAR. So we'll have a scout around.
Yep. So the full video is about 25 minutes. Be up in the week.
Avon Valley.
And I've just cut out a couple of minutes. I've edited a couple of minutes together, give you a flavour. And there's his delightful dog, who I still haven't met. Have I paused it? No.
Okay, so here you can see.
Yeah, Rob's found an ancient wall here. Well, I don't know how old it is.
We're right
An
up on
old
top.
wall.
But none of this is on the maps. This is the thing. None of these linear features, as Rob calls them, you know, the old ramparts, the wall, nothing.
Just zoom in a bit. You see more of it.
I'm just still barely
How long
hearing.
is this?
Alright, well, I'll just talk over it then, because you can't hear Rob very well. What he's pointing out here, I could share it on my original, so I just need to re-edit, mix it. You can see the
of course,
linear
all
features. Oh, it's louder
As you
now.
can see by the tree stumps, it's completely covered in forest.
Yes, the tree stumps there. Hang on, I'll turn this down a bit, because I've listened to this. And I'll
No one would know.
do a voiceover on Rob. So what's happened here, he's found the linear features. What that means is what we would call trenches, alright? And battlements. You can see where some sort of hill fort used to be. It's not on any maps. The walls he's shown aren't on any maps, but if you look around where he's filming, you can see the tree stumps. See, the wood extends below it on the hill, where he is now. And also, the other point to note is where he is. You know, you can see where the trees have been cut down. So suddenly all this becomes visible. So why isn't it on the maps? And on the other side, you can see the trees being cut down. So I'm asking everyone to be aware where trees are cut down. Go and have a look to see what's being revealed. And also, keep an eye on your local councils about where there's going to be tree planting. Because all the main parties are promising millions of trees in Britain, which is great, but where are they going to put them? Now, the other thing to notice that Rob picked out is this is a very stony, flat area. And there's a wrecked car as well, which is, unfortunately, all too common sight on some of these remote places.
That
Oh,
looks like it was made more of rust than metal.
and my camera just disappeared. My camera just froze again. Alright, you can still hear me.
And that's a rusty car.
That is a rusty car. So what Rob's pointing out here is you can see what a good vantage point this is for blocking the alleyway, and pointing out this stony, flat surface seems to have been some sort of, well, who knows what, eh? It seems like a fortress. And the other one with I remember that lamp, what do you call it, transmitter thing. I think that's where the one we went up on, if you remember. That had a transmitter on the top. It had something on the top, didn't it? Then across the other side. Alright, so I wanted to put this up. And I really, really want to thank Rob for doing this. And I really want to encourage everybody out there. You know, the more people reporting and doing things, the better. I'm happy to give... Okay, it looks knackered there. It's funny, because it's usually me who looks like that. Oh, Rob, sorry, cut you off in your prime. Oh, no, I just want to hear that last bit of the interview. Hang on. Zoop.
Signifies more than one fort. It's fortresses. Oh. Right, I've reached the top.
He's reached the top and he is going to stop. Alright, okay. I have no idea what we're going to do to get this back onto here now. I'll tell you what, hang on. Just sorry about this, folks. Like I said, I don't know what... We had a few... I got to get the camera working as well, haven't I? God, dear. Right, Arnie, you got to take... What?
Frozen.
Yeah, I know it's frozen. As I'm saying, I'm trying to get up there. I can't see it.
I was frozen. You look... Look at you.
Yeah, great frozen as well. Yeah, thanks. Makes me look terrible. Right, I was going to play the violin at the end. We come to the end now. I've overrun because things are taking too long. But what I have done is find where I had the other pictures, which I really want to show. So, alright, bear with me. Yes! Excellent. Sorry for that shouting then. Hang on, not yet on. A bit too keen a second. Alright, okay. Hurrah! Thank goodness. This should have come at the beginning of the video, alright? I hope people recognise what this is. I've cut in quite close. Now, sorry, just quickly, this will be a proper video. This will be part of it, and I'll dress it all up, and you can see it all drawn out. This is where Marshall is saying Troy is. If you know any of these places, you can look them up yourself. You've got Great Shelford is nearby.
The Magog
Yeah.
Golf Club.
Yeah, well, isn't that significant, eh? The golf club is called... Where'd you see it on? Where is it?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right, right in the middle of the screen, look. The Magog, or Gog and Magog golf clubs. Remember we talked about that a couple of weeks ago? With Gog being the person and Ma is the place of Gog. Ma is Welsh for place. So Magog, place of Gog. Alright? And the golf club's actually called that. You got Priam's Way, it's down here somewhere. So this is a part of the world we're in, Cambridgeshire. And the Wash, well, it wouldn't come down as far as this, but, you know, round about there somewhere. It was near the sea as such. So if you want to look on your maps, there's the references for all these points. And what we'd like to do, and this was going to be the thinking point of the video when we started, and I will do another one, like I said, in a couple of days, is do we have anybody in the group who's in that area and can have a route around? Because what Marshall has done here is look for the mounds and plotted them all in a very crude fashion. Sure, might be saying that. It's just to get an approximation. I made a real surprise when it came out. The idea is this would be the walls of the city, and if you look, this modern road, the Cambridge Road, goes right through the middle, as you'd expect. If this was the town, the main road would go through it. You'd have a gatehouse at each end, and it would pass through, okay? Same, you got a road going this way, and you'll find out when Marshall writes the books and everything, which all the famous gates there, the Skyon Gate and all that, they're all, you can work out which one's which. It all works beautifully. So the work in that book there, this book, where Troy once stood, sets the basis of this. You might want to get a copy of that. And then what Marshall's done is just taken it another stage and actually pinpointed where this is. And what I'm going to try and do now, this blasted thing's going to work for me. Yeah, what I did then was put the walls on. I just sort of scribbled them in a bit crudely. Some sort of idea. It seems to be 2 towers in the centre of the fort, or castle, or citadel, or it's a big area, right? It's a few miles, so it's a big town. And those mark the shield markers, the teardrops. They represent the towers, and the lines represent the walls. And the other thing you see around there, Gog is the place, and Magog is the... Yeah, thank you, Marshall, yes. Gog means north. Oh, of course, yeah, the northerners. I hope I'm doing okay here, Marshall. Arnie's bow is out. Yeah, the bow is out. Yeah, we come towards the end, yes. Better do a phone call video. Anyway, don't worry about that. Yep, the comments there. Alright, so you can see there. And I did one more, I believe. Or was that the last one I did there? Oh yeah, another place Marshall brought to my attention is up in Lancashire. So if you got anyone near there, Abraham Heights Farm in Westbourne. And I also knew a customer I wrote a letter to, having bought a book from us, pointing out who lived Derbyshire, not far from another place called Heights of Abraham. So hoping to get more information on that. Abraham Heights. There seems to be a lot of connections. And as the question earlier said, place names aren't like the only thing, but they do give you an idea. And you have to ask why they're there. And if they're ancient places, well, who chose to call them? It's a heck of a coincidence, if you like. Is that all the ones there? I think that was all the ones, wasn't it? Yeah, that's the original one there. So that's right. I think that's fantastic. I am just so impressed with all this. And the more you talk, the more you hear it, it's really convincing. And the other thing which Marcel was asking is that about the Ark, all right? Just want to talk quickly about the Ark now. Is that the Ark of the Covenant would have been with these people all through their travels. So we know that they left Egypt with it, and they went through, they were kicked out the Middle East, if you like. They went north to Anatolia. And then we also know from the works of Wilson and Blackett that when they migrated in 500 BC, with Brutus and that, they brought the Ark with them, and the claim is that it's in, and it's a bull. That's the claim where the Ark is. So the question which comes up is how does the...
How to contact you by...
Oh yeah, you can PM me via Facebook. You see my Facebook page. Yeah, that's probably a good idea. Or ross@cymroglyphics.com. Okay. Yeah, the question is, so this means that the Ark of the Covenant would have been in Anatolia between roughly 750 BC and 500 BC. So the question for everyone out there, and especially if you have any contacts in Anatolia, maybe Dardanelles, who knows, that kind of northwest area, where was the Ark for that period, for the 250-year period? It's not a quiz. I don't know the answer, all right? It's not a quiz as such. It's we want to find out. We want to do some research. Maybe Marcel was thinking there might be some local traditions in Turkey that put us in the right lines. Has anyone heard any old legends? Maybe from people there saying this is where the Ark is or was. And they might be right, because it could have been there for 250 years. And we are talking over 2,500 years ago. Yes, as you contact us, thank you. So there we are, coming together. I could have done with another hour to put this program together, so I'm sorry about that. Try my best. And I am going to have... Ooh, you never played the Welsh National Anthem, Arnie, have you?
I can probably wing it.
You have to wing it, but you have to wing it to Alexandros in the same key. Who's Alexandros?
What the key is, I think I'll probably...
Alright, well, we'll tell you what, I'll have a bit of this, just a bit of fun, okay? Because, I want to give the background first of all. Alexandros he's a fabulous bloke. He contacted me, would I mind answering a few questions, and he asked me all sorts of stuff about language primarily, how to think the language got to Wales, Cymroglyphics, that kind of thing. Brilliant. He's absolutely brilliant. And he's really charismatic, an amazing voice. And we got chatting about singing then, because he's got such the kind of voice when you hear him, you think, I bet he can sing. And he said, yeah, and he is doing a podcast soon. And I asked him as a very special favour for me, would he please actually sang me a little bit in Welsh. And he's not a Welsh speaker, but his Welsh is spot on. So he sang the whole anthem. This is great. Hang on. Oh. Alright, we'll just let him sing first. You can play a song of your choice at the end now, okay?
Sant ai gwaed Gwlad, gwlad Plaid iol hwyf ym gwlad Tramor anfyr I'r byr a bai A badded i'r hynhiaeth Barai.
Isn't that fantastic?
Yn Cymru ffanaddig paradwys I bardd Pob dyffryn, pob clogwyn golwg sydd hardd Trwy daimlad gwladgarol mor swynol oesi Haenentydd a ffonydd I fi
Enjoy the chorus?
Gwlad, gwlad, plaid iol hwyf ym gwlad travoran wir, ihr bir har bei, o parad ihr hanjait parhai.
I just
Play that rhythm again, everyone.
superb. So we'll play again at the finish, all right? I'll let you accompany Alexandros. I'll tell you what, man. I'd love to be able to play like. I'd love to be able to sing or play like that. Actually, so, we just come to the end now. You can play that then, okay?
Oh, so you told me to get my violin like
Yeah. Sorry, yeah. Well, I wasn't sure it would work singing it together. Anyway, so that's, I think that's everything for this week. So, yeah, tenor baritone. So it is. Yes, beautiful, isn't it? Right. Okay. I think. Is he a Cornish speaker? No, I don't. I think he's. Well, he lives in America. I don't think he's Welsh at all. From talking to him, I think he's. Well, just nothing Welsh at all, as far as I know. But I will get to know him better because he is fantastic and a very, very nice person. He is. He's been very honest about it. He's not on board with everything. He's read Sam Wilson and Blackett. He's open-minded. He's interested. He's got a lot of questions about why he thinks it could be right and not right and all that, and we're discussing it, and he's using his, intelligence and judgment to come to his own conclusions, which is all we can ask of anybody. So, right, I think that's it. Running on. What was 9? Yeah, right. Okay, so I'm glad we got there in the end with the map. Sorry, let's show that again. Absolutely amazing. I wish I started the programme. Sorry, all got a bit thrown together a bit, and I didn't actually get to comparing the Welsh hill fort with the English one. I'll try and do that as a video in the week because it would be worth its own video. And the point of it is really I'll just do a quick 2 minutes. On the one side of the border is Oswestry, all right, which is really, well, you can almost walk across the border between Wales and England within the same house some places. It's right on the border. Some people say it's Welsh, some people say it's English. I've got old friends of the family who've lived there. Well, they're all in their 90s now. So my longest standing pen pal who I've been writing letters to for donkey's years. We talk on the phone more now because writing's getting difficult for her. She's reached 90 years old. But always been great friends. She hails from Oswestry. She's still got the Oswestry burr. Oswestry, talk a bit like that, And then you've got some people in Oswestry still got Welsh accents. But anyway, the point was, English Heritage seemed to have got hold of the hill fort there. And it's beautiful. It's immaculately maintained. It's got signage. Tells you when it was likely built and who was there. Craddock might have gone there, all this kind of stuff. And then, by complete coincidence, this week, I had another email from someone in Wales who lives up by the mouth of the Severn in mid-Wales. And I ordered a book and I sent a letter explaining what interesting part of the world he lived in. Not explaining, he knows already. I mean, just sort of commenting what interesting part of the world he lives in. And it'd be good to know more about it. And he sent me a load of information. There's a local hill fort near him, as big as the one in Oswestry, not even identified on the maps. So what I was going to do was a little piece showing what's going on. Why is it on one side of the border we got some attention, on the Welsh side nothing at all? It was bizarre. And both are interesting hill forts to look at. So that's given me something to do. And I have one more question, which I almost forgot. I need to go full screen for this. This is very, very important. Because none of the hotkeys are working. So, right. I got a special request. This is very important. The whole show will be worth it for this, if we can come to it, please. I can only say so much at the moment, so you have to sort of look between the lines a little bit, alright? One of our loyal supporters, who's a very, very interesting chap called Graham, he's got 3 kings, he's got health foods and stuff. He's very nice to me. This isn't a sponsored promotion. I just want to say his stuff is very good. Alright, especially all this viruses going around. Get your vitamin D3, your supplements, all that. This is not a paid for. It looks like it was paid for promotions. I swear by this, but I do. Alright, it's great. 3 Kings is the company, and Graham is wonderful. He's done all the walks. He's been to all the places, all the videos. He goes all around. I've met him. He's a cracking guy, right? And he's tied in with that, the Way of the Warriors, where they're providing care and help for old soldiers who got traumas, PTSD, and they're trying to get them out of it through traditional ways. And that's not the purpose of what I'm talking about now. He sent me a video which I can't locate just. I don't want to give the location just yet. I'm saving it all to do the final video, where there is something very special about a circle of oak trees somewhere in the Midlands. And this is why I don't believe in coincidences anymore, because someone else then, Hugh Evans, you know from the books he does about stars and whatever, he sent a out of the blue email the same day or a day later, talking about an ancient wood just north of Windsor, where that ancient wood, he's noticed some trees there and this, that and the other there, and the names are ancient. I want to look at the names. Something, it's not Windsor, it's just above Windsor. There's something Zor just above it. Anyway, if anyone lives in that area and is able to get up there into the woods, what I want to find is, are there any rings of old trees? I know it's going to sound weird, isn't it, without knowing the whole story. I will reveal it later in the week, okay? The point is, if you do go up into that wood, when you find the ring of trees, and it does seem to be some, looking at the sort of aerial Google views and that, you need to get there really. Have a look what's in the middle of the centre of the ring of oak trees. How weird's that? I know, I feel such a tease. I can't say any more right now, okay? It's quite hot stuff, this. If what is there, if what I think is there, it's quite an eye-opener from a hidden history point of view. I might even have to brave crossing the River Severn, or sorry, the Severn Estuary, and going down here myself just to have a look. It's quite a long drive from here, and it is that kind of restrictions at the moment.
I'll come.
You come? Yeah, all right, we're going to go. Is it? Before they down, it's a long way to go, so walk through the wood, isn't it? I don't know if we'll convince the Welsh Government that, but we might have to, because I really want to get down there. So if anywhere in Berkshire, near Windsor, around about that area, there's a particular wood I want you to look at. So contact me if we're going to have a look, take a camera, and there's something I have a feeling is going to be in the middle of one of the circles of trees, which freak everyone out, man. It freaked me out just seeing them on through Graham, and then this. Imagine this, right? I had no idea about any of this before, and then I get a video from Graham, I don't think he's ever sent me a video before. He sent me lots of bits and pieces about various things. He's spot on the money and links to YouTube, but this is when he filmed himself. Look at what I've found. It's like blinking heck, that's amazing. And then the same day or the next day, someone else sends me a video where the same thing could occur again, and that would really be significant. So sorry about being a bit mysterious. Alright. Okay, so, alright, so here we are. 9:30. Right, hour and a half. Wow. Okay, you ready to play us out? Have you thought about what song you want to play?
Oh, now you're ready.
Oh, look at this. See, the trouble is, you deal with these maestros, you know what it's like, you know? It's just hard work. That's why he's put an outfit on. He got style. He got his own little style. What are you going to play us out with? Something Welsh or what? Are you going to do the national anthem again?
If you want.
Can you hear, the lags and everything's difficult, isn't it?
What do you want me to play?
Well, shall I play him again? Oh, no. Well, you can play something else. Go on. Any requests, folks? Don't only just play whatever. It doesn't really matter. Do you want to hear this again? No, we can't do national anthem twice. It's getting too much like a rugby game or something. It's too nationalistic. We're not supposed to be nationalistic. This is about Britain. Come on, let's have some suggestions for a song. Yeah, thank you everyone. We're going to say goodbye, yeah, Nostalgia. I'm glad we finally got to see some of the pictures and Rob's video. Oh man, I'd be so disappointed if we hadn't done that. Remember the trees. Remember the caption competition. You got into that. Oh! Blast! Thinking neck. This is, there's another competition coming up. And let's do a launch video in the week. Remember I showed you this? Ugh. This is solid slate. Dixie's designed them with the holes in the corners so you can put them on your walls. We're going to run he's doing a special one-off collector's item portrait of Wilson and Blackett on slate. And we're going to raffle it, alright? So the raffle tickets will go on sale soon. And then the money gets split with Alan and all that kind of stuff. Okay? You ready on? Any requests? Green grass. I think you know it's green grass. The old home looks the same as I step down from the train. I think he knows that one. Get the whiskey out for Arnie and his fiddle, yeah. Sospen Vark. Do you know Sospen Vark, Al? Sospen Vark, ready all the time. No, we'll play one you know then. Come on, anyone you know. Come on, I ran out of things to say here. So you get one of these, which is fantastic. Will look lovely on any house outside wall. You can put the number of the house on the bottom and customise it.
How about some classical music or something? Classical music?
Oh, okay, Mr. Posh Boy. Go on then. Alright, so Arnie will play us out to say goodbye to something or other. We'll see if we recognise it. Oh, a bit more Vivaldi. There we go. Become our theme tune, isn't it? Come on, Eileen. I'm going to get Leon and Zavi singing as well next week. And I will get back to John Brimelow and the Scottish settling of America. And more about Oswald Street. Until next week, North Star Paul, very best wishes, and Heddwch. It's my new thing, Heddwch. 3 feathers, see? Heddwch. Arwen. How do I change this? Ah. Oh, there's so much more to cover this week. Ba 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 ba. Whose brothers does fiddle? A bit more of Arnie. Sorry, a bit more of Arnie. Very good. How rude of me turning the picture off. Thank you. I'm now with a mobile camera. That makes a big difference, doesn't it? Rounds of applause in the other room as well. All right, Dio. Well done, everyone. Yeah, it would be great to all meet up and go for some walks somewhere and have a little get together in a conference and all that kind of thing. Let's hope all this, I don't know, nonsense passes over or whatever. We can all get together, do some walks, have a little chat, night out, all that kind of thing.
Goodbye, everybody.
Goodbye, everyone. I shall leave the thing running a little bit longer so we can finish off our chats on the message. And a lot of videos this week going to go up, all right? And I'll speak to you all again soon. Hello.